GemVeda Extended, back with another video. This video is going to be very important related to your reality creation pursuits and just understanding the amount of power you have in this whole aspect of reality creation. And when you understand this, it's going to help you really see your power in a way that actually helps you rather than hinders you. Because a lot of people end up falling into this headspace where they believe that the world is against them and there's nothing they can really do about it, when it's not true. You're the authority in your life and you give the world a lot of power. In fact, you give the world more power than you think that you actually do. And as you can see by the title of this video, nothing can lower your frequency without your permission. Since you have the authority over your frequency, you're the one that gives the world permission to lower your frequency for you. You give the world permission to make you mad. You give the world permission to get you upset, frustrated, right? Angry, based on what's going on outside, but truly you're the one giving that permission. And this permission that you give isn't always a contract you're signing consciously to the world that you hand over to people. You're like, hey, here's your permission to control me, or here's your permission to do something that will lead to me lowering my frequency. No, you give permission by acting unconscious. You give permission by basically falling asleep to the ways in which you react to the world, right? When you let things get to you, you're giving that thing permission to get to you, and evidently it's you that's lowering your own frequency. Now, another thing about this lowering your frequency or lowering your vibration thing is that you don't have to be this super happy person 24/7, 365. Okay, that's not what this is all about. It's about predominant frequency. It's about, on average, am I happy? Am I joyful? Am I grateful for the world around me, for what I'm creating? Am I even grateful for the things that I haven't materialized yet, but the fact that I could see it in my mind, I'm grateful for that. Like, you have to be grateful in this way. Like, I'm grateful for a future house that I could see myself and, my girlfriend living in. And we don't physically live there yet, but in my mind we do. And the joyous feelings I get from that feel amazing. I'm grateful for just being able to just envision that, because some people struggle with visualizing in this way. Some people have a lot of trouble with that. Just that alone I'm grateful for. Something that I haven't even received in the physical world just yet, but it's so assumed that I feel like I already have it. So if I am grateful for something that isn't physically present just yet, do you think I'm going to be grateful for things that are physically present now? I will be. And it comes down to just the way I think. And this is a practice that you have to keep doing in order to think in this way, because it's not just the thought, it's the feeling associated with that thought that is most crucial and most important. And when you build this amount of consciousness and awareness, this also blends itself into how you make sure you don't give permission to the world to basically lower your vibration. Meaning, because you're so aware of your day-to-day mindset, you're also aware of the ways in which you outsource your authority. So now with this higher awareness, you no longer go unconscious in a way that allows the world to get you mad, get you upset, make you sad, so on and so forth. And in my videos recently, I've been really harping on the importance of mental and spiritual productivity, because these are the two missing forms of productivity you likely need more. Mental productivity meaning, what thoughts am I entertaining? How am I reframing? Am I using my executive functions for problem solving? And then these thoughts trickle down to emotions, which affect your frequency. So that's the spiritual productivity side of things. Am I feeling gratitude, joy, peace, and love? How am I feeling in my body? Is my body regulated? And this is, of course, easier said than done, like all things, but it's very important. And I think one thing for me to really harp on here when it comes to you changing as a person, just as a whole, is the importance of understanding that your old self will always aim to come back. It will always aim to convince you to stay the same, to convince you to backtrack, right? This is called the ego backlash in self-help psychology and all of that. Basically, let's say a few weeks goes by, a month goes by, 2 months goes by, everything's good, you're doing your habits, you're reprogramming your subconscious mind, you're taking action in life, and then what happens is that the old ego does this 180 thing where it comes back stronger than ever. Maybe something triggers you, maybe you think of a thought, something upsets you, and then you just kind of flip back to this old self. And that's the ego backlash kind of trickling back in, which is a natural part of the journey. You just have to overcome that, because at the end of the day, change is both learning new things and practicing new thoughts, new behaviors, new emotions, but it's also unlearning old thoughts, old behaviors, old emotions. And the subconscious mind is so used to those old thoughts, old behaviors, old emotions that it's gonna revolt. Because it has memorized the old self so much. It's so, those neural pathways, it's so easy to tap into that old self. So you have to be patient with yourself throughout this process. If you still find yourself, reacting to the world, giving away your authority, so on and so forth, that's totally okay. Just think of it as getting better through time. Like, you're better this month than last month. Think of it like, I always give this example with my one-to-one clients, is think of it like a stock market. The stock market goes up and down. But throughout a 1 month, 2 month, 6 month, 1 year, 5 year time span, if the trajectory is up on that given stock, it's a good stock to probably invest in long term. But if the trajectory is down long term, then something is up, you probably don't want to invest in something like that. It's the same idea with your self-improvement. You're not going to have every single day where you're jumping up and down, super happy. You might have some days where you're neutral. Which is perfectly fine. I mean, it's better to have more neutral days than more days where you're really down in the dumps and feeling negative. And even if you have negative days, that's okay. Just learn from those days. We're talking about predominant frequency here. We're not talking about toxic positivity. And another insight I want to share is that it's okay to admit when things get to you. It's okay to admit that something upset you, that something triggered you. I admit that to myself. It's very healthy for your psychology, and it's very healthy for having a well-rounded relationship with yourself, having this sense of safety. It's not like you're reacting to something like negative and you're like, oh, here I go again, being reactive instead of being in a high frequency. And then that causes you to kind of betray your genuine feelings. You have to accept that, you have to admit that, and then you have to ask why you feel this way. And then transmute that emotion after you've processed it into the higher emotions, And again, yes, this becomes easier the more you practice things like joy, peace, love, and gratitude. So the big idea here is to understand that you are your own authority in your frequency. And if it feels like the world is pulling you in multiple directions, it's because you give it permission. And you don't just give it permission by speaking it, you give it permission by going unconscious. You give it permission by forgetting that awareness. And I always say that a highly aware individual is someone a high frequency individual is someone that's highly aware, that has higher thinking, and that has higher emotions, right? Higher thinking meaning they think more positive thoughts, solution-oriented, problem-solving. Somebody that is higher emotions, peace, love, joy, and gratitude, for example. This is what a high-frequency individual looks like, and their life is a byproduct of who they are. They get opportunities sent to them. People like and trust them faster. They make more money in their business. They basically reach their desires, not just from an action-taking standpoint. They do take action, but they're not like grinding taking action, right? Like, that's the key difference here that I want you to always remember. So if you feel like life is fighting you, you have to look within and say, am I fighting myself? Right? If my life is reflecting this back to me, what am I presenting to begin with? Am I living in the past? You know, you have to ask yourself these questions. And again, this is a game of not just self-awareness and spirituality, but understanding your psychology, understanding your biases. I have a video coming soon on the six biases that are affecting your reality. Because it's gonna be some good stuff. It's gonna be some good stuff. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you need help with any of this, as always, check the link in the description for my coaching links. Identity Resonance is for entrepreneurs, creatives, and professionals, and my monthly coaching container is for anybody, anybody that basically is a fit for that coaching program. I have a lot of exciting things to come. Look out for my next video on my main channel. If you're new to this other channel of mine, I post here periodically. Honestly, I need to post more. I talk about the same stuff, just in more raw format and different types of formats too. Minimal to no editing on this channel. Hope you enjoyed it. Comment below if you have anything to share, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.